Good evening, class. While I was making these recordings, it turned into the evening. I am about to present on Activity 5. So if you will go to Module 4, where it says Activity 5, this one is actually one of the more fun activities to do. And it's called Assessing an HSO. And for those of you who are reading along in the course text, you probably want to read this particular chapter first before you do this so that you'll know what you're looking for. In assessing an HSO is a human service organization. And let's look and see what this activity entails. You will probably want to assess more than one human service organization. And if you have several people in your group, I would do at least 2, maybe 3, and you can fill them all in on the same piece of paper or use the same guide to do different ones. But I would suggest it because you're going to need it in the end anyway. But this will tell you what questions you need to ask when you're assessing a human service organization. So Activity 5, and let's say you're a caseworker at a local human service organization. You have a client who needs help in the following area. So whatever area you have picked, if that's child abuse, domestic violence, the elderly, poverty, homelessness, whatever the topic is that your group is working on, that is the area that you'll explore here. So locate an organization in the DFW that serves this need. One of the best resources that we have in DFW, and I'll show you, is the United Way 911. Again, I apologize for the big hands in the way of the camera, but I don't think that there's a way. Oh, I'm sorry, it's 211. Oops. That tells you how long, I've been working on this for a while today. Okay. Okay, 211, United Way. So if you go here, it will tell you about 211, a resource that all social workers need to know. So this will be helpful to you in your career. And it teaches you how to access the database for 211, which is all over the state of Texas. So you enter the term that you're working on and the zip code of the area you want to know and search and find what's available there. Pretty easy. There may be things that are newer or that are unknown or that only you know about, such as churches that have a food pantry, that type of thing. Go with the formal ones first, or the organizations that are the 501c3s and that type of thing first. But then you may also include some of that additional information, such as maybe a mom's club helps out with something of this type of situation, or whatever other informal organizations there are. And those are terms that you need to read about in your book, formal, informal, in the chapter on organizations. But for this one, here is the United Way 211. You can look that up, and let me go back to our assignment. But that'll be helpful to you when you're assessing a human service organization. So let's say you're a caseworker, you look it up, you have to locate the area. I want to know, where will you begin your search on the internet? List your first steps. So if you went to the United Way, put that. If you went to another place, put that. Put all of the different things that you did to search this out. Okay? I just gave you a huge hint. So if anybody doesn't watch this video, they'll be sad because they didn't get the huge hint. But there are ways to locate it. You might try also, rather than United Way 211, just Googling the information. Just put in child abuse Tarrant County or whatever and see what comes up. What is the name of the human service organization you chose to explore? Are they listed in this registry? Then there's some very specific instructions that I want you to follow here. So go through, follow the instructions, make sure that every person is included here on the topic. On the students' names. Which reminds me that if there is a student who's not working with you all, who's not doing what they're supposed to be doing, and they're in your group, then don't include them in the activity. Don't put their name on the activity because they're not participating. So even though, you may have a group, now let's say they're an active participant, but they didn't do this activity, still put all your active participants there because you want them to all be included and you're working as a group. But if you have someone who has not been participating all along and they sort of just be ignoring the group or whatever, then don't include them in the things that you all have been working on as far as the assignments. It is the job of the leader to communicate with all the people in the group. So it's a two-way street. Let's say you can't find the person, your group needs to seek that person out. But anyway, I digress. Okay, so you need to read the course text to know what some of these are. Okay, the organizational domain. You need to understand the task environment. And some of these terms will only be clear to you by reading the course text. So that is that. Follow the instructions. And ask questions if you need to.